morning, traders. Welcome back to the Everyday Growth Advisors live stream. Fundamental Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a great morning here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a great schedule today. So we're going to be covering the intrinsic valuation of CrowdStrike, which is our ticker of the week. And let's actually have a look at market conditions here. So are things looking gloomy? Yesterday we had a presidential debate. I didn't really get to watch much of it because I was actually teaching a class on the Everyday Growth Advisors mentorship course. So didn't really look into it much, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, if we were to look at it, we would see quite a bit of exciting stuff, right? I think I heard Trump was trying to overtalk and this and yada yada, and Biden was doing the same. And you know, I don't really get into the political stuff, but it is what it is, right? Markets got a little bit spooked and they were selling off a little bit. I am thinking of getting a little more long on the Dow Jones now. It's looking a little more bullish than I expect. And yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to see how this week goes. I'm starting to get a bit more bullish than I would because I'm starting to see signs of a possible recovery here on all fronts. But then I'm also being cautious here, so I'm gonna let you guys know what I see over here in a second. So let's have a look at the news real quick. Republicans recommend stiffer response to China's rise. Blah blah blah. Probe into A380 engine blowout reveals metal safety risks. Sounds like bad news for Boeing once again. Not sure if it is going to be bad news or good news. U.S. stock futures drop after presidential debate. Yep, that's what I said. Was causing a little bit of jitters there, and we'll see how the market you know, reacts to that. No MU, it was horrific. You didn't miss much. Okay, then great. I'm glad I didn't miss much. Evergrande billionaire supported rewarded for buying low. Philippines seeks new 11 billion advance from central bank. Shell to cut up to 9,000 jobs. Virus accelerates overhaul. And then something about insider trading charge after deleting WhatsApp. Wow, interesting. Rolls-Royce. Something about them lowering the price. Not much on Bloomberg here. Let's have a look at Wall Street Journal. So, behind China's decade of European deals, Silver Lake launches 25-year-old JP Morgan paying $920 million to settle this manipulation probe. Palantir, IPO, and Next Era NEE may takeover approach to Duke Energy. Oh wow, that would be a big one. That would actually be a big one. These stocks have rallied more than 400% this year. Okay, not much here in the news. Slightly bearish. I want to say sounding slightly bearish, but it is what it is. Duke Energy up 6% on the news. Moderna about 3%. Hasbro, and then Micron down about 2% here. Not sure exactly why. WD, Western Digital, Garmin, all seeing a little bit of drops here. And here we have NEO up about 4%. Now, I have some interesting stuff to say about NEO. And NEO is one of the ones that I'm watching for some possible rallies up ahead. So, you know, I think that we're obviously going to break through this $21, $22 range pretty quickly here. Because there's some powerful catalysts coming NEO's way. Okay, so from what I've been reading and what I'm gathering here, obviously we broke through this top here. What I'm seeing is that NEO just had a briefing with the China Auto 2020. It's kind of like think about like the Chinese state. You know, they're kind of having a negotiation with them. So let me just put these indicators on real quick, and you'll see what I'm saying here. So they highlighted a new power up plan, which is building and subsidizing 30,000 new superchargers and destination chargers, and roll out a navigation on pilot, which is their versions of Tesla's autopilot, right? And this system itself, the one that they're using, from what I was gathering and what I was reading, is using the Mobile Eye system, which is owned by Intel. and is actually regarded as a pretty decent system. So there's the province in China called Hefei, which has agreed to go build with NIO more than 40 battery swap stations in the next couple of months. And this shows that battery as a service is pretty much a popular thing in China right now. And it's going to help them roll out EVs even faster. Okay, so expected deliveries for NIO in September are expected to be more than 100% year-over-year growth, with about 4,000 to 5,000 vehicles delivered, including the new model, which is a competitor to Tesla's Model Y. Okay, but you know, it's like $20,000 cheaper. So I actually think this is a bullish opportunity with NIO fundamentally. And I think we should take a stab at it. I think that it might be a good opportunity to take this. Now, we actually spoke about this on the Everyday Growth Advisors mentorship course. And during the mentorship course, we spoke about the prospect of NIO being volatile within the next couple of weeks. And true enough, the options chain was actually, you know, expecting this, and it turned out to be true. So this might be one of the stocks to watch. Okay. Now, the other thing that I have my eye on is silver. Okay, especially precious metals and mining companies are starting to look bullish again. Okay, I think they have kind of bottomed out. We had silver come down, touch the 200 moving average, and it started to reverse its course here. And I'm starting to like it more and more here as it starts to make these waves up. So if I can confirm, you know, bullish movement above this dual zone over here, a test of a support, and then maybe a bounce up, I'm going to start to take silver positions again. My previous silver position entry was pretty bad, and so I got stopped out. So keep an eye on silver as we continue to go up here, especially as the central bank continues, you know, to have money printing on the works. It's going to continue on with, you know, its dollar-denominated expansion. Okay, so NIO, silver, those are two things you should keep watch on. And then, of course, we have our golden child of this week, which is CrowdStrike, which I'm going to get to in a second here. Let me turn off some of these indicators because they're going to be too much of stuff here. So let me take this off. Yeah, I think that should be good enough there. So I'll talk about CrowdStrike in a second here. So I hope you guys are having a great morning. Honestly, welcome into the live stream. Help me smash that like button if you can. You know, anything you do that will assist me with getting the stream up and running. I'm going to be working on upgrading the equipment for the stream, and so you know, anything that you donate to the stream channel will go to the upgrade if you want to. Of course, there is no implication at all. You don't have any obligation to do so. I'm just saying, if you did want to, then it would go directly to the upgrade of my hardware. Okay, so thank you for everything that you guys do for this channel, coming in, being consistent, liking the stream. I appreciate it. All right. And okay, so let's have a look at the SPY, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones technical update here. So what I was calling for, the bounce in the 23.6 happened already. Okay, we were hoping for this to happen, and it actually did happen. This bounce here, I was hoping that we would bounce and, you know, kind of continue the uptrend here, which we are right now. Okay, I actually think that we may start to squeeze within this pocket here on this channel, and we may see some collapse down to this channel here before we make a wave up again. So expect some kind of a movement from the NASDAQ that pushes it down and then into this corner pocket here, and then before making that move up. I think that's a possible wave setup there. So far we've been on point with this, and I think you know, it's about time to start you know, getting our positions into ludicrous mode, start taking some stabs at some bullish positions, because I think that Q3 and Q4 are going to be good quarters for the market, especially for the Dow Jones. I'm actually very bullish on about Dow Jones, and I think you know, as our economy starts to open up and, you know, we start to see improvements, we're going to see you know, these markets start to price in these reopenings and stuff like that. You can see it happening all across the board when you look at the travel sector. So majority of the travel sector, some of these over here have been doing pretty good the past month. You have also, let's see here, the past 1 week. So I would highly recommend start looking at these again. Energy sector still terrible, and you know I'm actually I was saying in the class today, I'm really liking the prospects of buying some XOM over here. I really am liking the prospects. You know, playing this to the upside, really huge upside here. Stock is super undervalued, and this is just one of those things that you have to kind of take a risk with, right? Buy things that are super sold off and wait till they become better. I wouldn't recommend buying leaps. I just recommend buying shares because they're so cheap anyway, right? You spend $1,000 on leaps, you know, spend $1,000 on shares. You can hold them forever, no decay. You'll be okay. Cool. So, boop, boop, boop. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that. Keep them coming. Let's hope that we can get like 100 likes today. I don't see 100 people here, but we'll see if we eventually get 100 people. So okay, now more and more bullish with the Dow Jones, and S&P 500 is kind of doing its own thing as well. But you can see we've kind of like ended this down wave now, and we're starting a up wave. You can see that we're starting to make higher highs from the down, right? And I think this downtrend is now you know, starting to reverse, but obviously it's too soon to tell. It's too soon to tell. We need a clean break above this, right? And then a bounce on this level to confirm new support before we can actually get a confirmation. But I would be willing to take some short positions to play this upside, and that's all I'm saying, okay? Because these moving averages have been acting as pretty strong support here, and I think from a technical standpoint, we may be looking like we want to go up. We may be looking like it, okay? So just keep that in mind, and that's the SPY technical update for today. Markets have been a little bit jittery and all over the place with volatility, so expect VIX to rise a little bit. It has been rising a couple, but today it sold off, so that's a good sign that the market's about to go down. We have a death cross on the 1 hour chart here on VIX, and VIX selling off here is a good thing. So we'll see if we can continue to sell off here, and that will cause S&P 500 to rise, right? Because they go inverse. As fear drains out of the market, investors start to become bullish again, and that should set us off into a new bull phase. Okay, great. Do you think Zoom will bounce here? Looks like a demand zone. Okay, we'll check out Zoom a little later. So let's get into the ticker of the week. This week's ticker is actually surprising because it's actually undervalued. The stock is undervalued, to me at least. To Morningstar, they say that the stock is overvalued, but to me, you know, it seems like the... Oh wow! So some news just come out. Oops. Let's have a look. Energy rises. Let's see here. GDP price index a little worse than expected. Oh yeah, GDP quarter over quarter a little better than expected. Core PCE prices, real consumer spending, not too bad actually. Looking interesting. Economic news just came out, dropped to 830. I think it's pretty decent news. How are you guys feeling today? I keep forgetting how does VIX relate to the market. VIX is the index that tracks fear and volatility. It gauges fear and volatility within the market. So think of it as reacting inversely to SPX or SPY. That's the best way to think about it. When there's a high amount of fear, then VIX spikes. And when there's a low amount of fear, VIX sells off. So people buy VIX when they're feeling fearful. Okay, I feel like we should get into CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, we did a brief company analysis spoke about what they do and yada yada on Monday. And today we're going to do the intrinsic valuation of the stock. I went through the 10Q, and honestly, not a lot of nothing crazy on the 10Q. You have to realize this business is relatively new. It's barely 2 to 3 years old. Actually, it's 2 years old, and there's still a lot more room to go for this business. It's a software as a service, and you can compare it to how Salesforce does customer relationship management. This one does cybersecurity. For a marketplace of internet users, and not only internet users, but just overall institutions, right? So I think that CrowdStrike has really good prospect the next year, at least, as a lot of business have gone online. They're gonna want to buy some kind of a protection for their networks. Okay, their end-to-end protection, like endpoint protection, and so they do a very succinct job at doing that. And so in the 10Q here, there wasn't much that I saw that was of worry. They do have a weird litigation against them for using the Falcon logo, but I don't think it's a big deal. And then they're trying to scale out their cloud AI. And so after reading this entire 10Q, the only thing I can say is this company is still in a very infant stage, but they actually have some insane growth. So looking at the revenue growth here, you can see from 2018 in April, the first quarter, they had $47 million in revenue, and now they're almost at $200 million in revenue. So this company is growing pretty fast in 2020. Their revenue is growing at a pretty good rate. I expect their revenues to grow about 50% next year, and the minimum 50%, right? You can see the trajectory for quarter over quarter and then year over year. So you can see this is doubling up, and then this is almost doubling up too. So it's actually 100%, but I'm going very modest, and my valuation for the business is with the modest valuation of the business, my forecasting discounted cash flow model is showing a very huge upside for this business. Now, the issue is that the company is pretty new, so the data that I have is not enough to create a very strong track record. And forecasting it out 10 years is a little different, a little more difficult to do for a newer company. But when trying my best, this is the best that I can do, right? So let's see here. For competitors for Crowd, that should be anyone who's doing a cloud cybersecurity. AWS probably has their own. Microsoft probably has some. McAfee, all those other businesses that do antivirus and cloud security. Those are the ones that will do it. So operating cash flows have been actually going from negative to positive, and the trailing 12 months operating cash flows are actually more positive than ever. And then cash from investing activities are finally positive, as well as from finance activities. So free cash flow is looking really nice here at 180 million, I believe. Revenue is also growing. You can see their trailing 12 months revenues are higher than the past 3 years, and net income is obviously a loss because the business is still in an infant stage. It has to spend a lot of money to make a lot of money. So this will continually create a negative return on equity and a negative ROA here, especially as well a negative ROIC, leading to a negative net margin, right? So the profitability of this business will remain stagnated until this business can, go through a couple of years of success. Okay, their quick ratio and current ratio show that they have double the assets than liabilities to cover. And the company has very little debt, so not too bad. Okay, interest coverage here is negative, which is actually coming from their borrowing. which I think in this case here is not a big issue. So business that's just starting off, so it should be okay. Revenues 3 years annualized is 108%. So you can see the business is growing pretty fast. What else did I want to show you? Oh yes, a bunch of other things. Let's look at their price ratios. No, the other metrics or other ratios. Actually, no, this one's fine. All right, I guess we're done with this one. I forgot what was the other thing that I wanted to show you. Now, this report by Morningstar says the fair value of the stock is $82, but this was done in June, and they've since reported 1 quarter, and so I don't think this report's up to date. So I'm actually not going to really rely much on this report, or even take it too much of my calculation here. So looking at the intrinsic valuation here based on my calculation, taking a 50% growth rate for next year, okay? Next year, 50% growth rate, and then 35% the year after, 28% the year after that, 25% after that. And by the way, I think their revenue is going to increase, but I'm being very modest here, okay? 25, 20, 20, and then 17, 15 years forward. And being very modest about EBITDA as well here. Okay, CapEx, 5-year average, we're projecting it to be 15%. So I'm keeping it at 15% roughly. Working capital is minus 50%. So I'm going to keep it at 50%. For the last 4 quarters, it has been that. And then percent of revenue for depreciation and amortization is about 3.8%. So I'm keeping it that. The tax rate, we don't know yet, right? Because this business is making a loss. So we're going to assume they have a tax rate of 26%, which is a usual tax rate for any business. And the discount rate, we're going to go slightly higher because maybe they spend a little more this year because of COVID, okay? So that gives us a terminal value of 3 different types, and market price is $136. This stock's fair value comes up to $242, which is a 78% upside for a tech company of this size, okay? Now, does that mean that you just like, go and buy all the CrowdStrike that you can? I would say no, right? You got to be smart about it. Buy it when market's down. Looks like a good growth stock, to be honest. Looks like a good growth stock. So that would be the way that I would go about this business. Now, looking at the technicals, you can see this is actually in a ascending pennant. It's an ascending pennant here. And so a breakout on either side would cause this to really, give us a upside here to the 78.6 fib or the 38.2 fib on the bottom. Either side that it goes shows pretty good upside or downside. But I think that more than likely this pennant is kind of rising, it's ascending. I think highly likely that we go see further upside instead of downside. But I did say on Monday that we would see some downside before we see the upside, and that's exactly what happened so far. We're squeezing into this pennant here, and we'll probably continue squeezing. If you watch my previous live stream on Monday, you'll hear me say that. I could easily go back and rewind it and show you, but it will waste too much time. But as we squeeze into this pennant here, we'll break to the upside more than likely because of how this pennant is facing upward. Okay. So, all in all, the right strategy to play this is to wait for the break to the upside and then play the upside. I would say $150 calls seem about right. Take them for about 2 months out or 3 months out, and you should be golden. That would be what I would do. Should you wait for a pullback to enter Neo long? Yes, absolutely wait for a pullback. So that's the strategy for CrowdStrike there, and that's the intrinsic valuation. If anyone's interested, read the 10Q. There's a ton of pages that I had to go through to get almost nothing. I don't say it's worth it to read it. Business is generally new, so you'll just see a lot of different accounting, you know, metrics here that may or may not interest you. So far, I didn't find really anything that stood out to me as something I should be worried about as an investor. So, seems like a pretty stable company, growing revenues, early stages, gonna have lots of cash flow, spend, and the fact that it even has positive FCF is already a wonder. So that's all I have for CrowdStrike, to be honest. A pretty relatively easy stream today, because there's not much else that I can say about this company. So let's see what you guys have to say. Do you think Zoom will bounce here? Looks like it's in this demand zone. Yeah, it probably is. This is a dual zone. This is definitely a dual zone. Oops. Yeah, I would think so. I think might be a good time to... I mean, if you want to play it to the upside. But you need to wait for a confirmation, though. So you can't really buy this here. You could take a stab at it, but remember, it's still bearish. I would say it has a potential to come down to like $400 before you can take a stab at it. It made a crazy-ass run. So I would say be cautious. Be cautiously optimistic with this one. I see volume flowing out, making lower lows. And I don't see... You can see the volume's gone lower than where it was before. So people are selling the stock. Yeah, I wouldn't be too bullish on Zoom just yet. In LI 20 calls 10-16. This is a good play as a sympathy play against Neo, right? I think. LI 20 calls, yeah. Maybe you get one to hold. Yeah, you could hold that one if you wanted, to be honest. It's probably a decent one. Should you wait for a pullback? I answer the question. Nvidia, this downside reversal or pullback on the upside yesterday at closing? Good question. This looks more like a downside reversal, or rather a correction. It looks more like a corrective wave. That's what I see. It's a corrective wave after a massive run up. I think it can run up much more. I think it can easily go back up to like the 580 after a pullback, a decent pullback. The more it pulls back, well, the shorter the pullback, the more the run. So I would say, a pullback to about this level here, 520, 525, 525-ish. That's the level I would enter Nvidia, to be honest. Start taking it there on a bounce, if you can get a bounce confirmation. Alternatively, it could also come down to 510. That's a possibility. So make sure that you look at all the angles and check if which one's gonna, probably be the best entry for you. Baba's looking interesting today. Baba's always looking interesting. I had Baba calls and I got stopped out, and now I'm sad. Baba's broken out of this descending wedge here, by the way. So it's broken out of the wedge, and now I think it has the room and the potential to run up to 300 once again. I think buying January calls for Baba, like 300 calls, is a pretty decent move. I think that would be a good play if you want to look at Baba. Apple this week expiry 120. That's a long shot. I wouldn't go for that. But you could if you wanted to. OSTK tightening up. Possible break soon. OSTK. Yeah, this is a absolutely like a this is like a pennant as well. This is actually, oh wait a minute. This is a bear flag. This is a bear flag. So you can see this, and you can see that, right? Let's see. Let's use a different color. Purple. Make it thinner a little bit. Maybe here. Make this purple. Make it thinner. There you go. You can see that. This is a bear flag. So when something's going like this and then going upward, that's a bear flag. If it breaks to the bottom here, OSTK is running down. I'd say, you know, this level here, 50, 55, 56, easily 57-ish. That's the next level for it to hit. Alternatively, if it breaks to the upside, then it would be bullish again. So you gotta watch what happens. I think it's more bearish than bullish here for OSTK. Can you explain how do you know when some people are buying a stock versus people are selling? Well, I'm confused by that question. So you can generally tell when the price goes up or the price goes down and it's followed with volume outflow or inflow, right? If the price action is going upward and volume's coming downward, then there's people who are selling into the buying, right? If it's the reverse and the price is going downward while the volume is going upward, then there are people who are buying into the selling. That's how I generally tell. Do you think Netflix would be a good entry to the upside, bounce off? Yeah. So I'm looking at both Netflix and Facebook as tickers that I'm following for this week that I want to trade. I'm already in Facebook longs, by the way. I bought some Facebook calls. This is a great swing trade if you want to take it. We have that 2-wave confirmation. One wave here, the second wave forming right now. So wait for the second wave to form. If we get a nice break above this old resistance here, a nice break above this level here, 263, 264 bounce on this moving average here, we can see a really nice upside on Facebook in the time to come. The same exact setup for Netflix. You'll see it. See that? Same setup. Only thing is Netflix looks a little better. Already went up above this resistance here and is consolidating above it. I think it may make a run for the upside here, especially since it broke out from this descending pattern that it had. So this is what I'm looking at for Netflix right now. I think Facebook and Netflix will be very, very close watch this week. NVIDIA 525 and 510 dual zones. That's why you picked them. 510 having 2 previous dual zones. Yes, exactly. Walmart 145 calls for 1030. 145 for 1030. I mean, this is another descending pattern. Looks like another descending pattern. I think it's actually already, it's breaking out of its descending pattern here. I mean, that's a tough one, to be honest, with Walmart. Let's wait for the break, man. Wait for the confirmation. Like, consolidation is great, and volume's been kind of rising here. You can see that. But I'd say we gotta wait a little bit more. Thoughts on CRM above 248.50? CRM above 248.50. Yeah, that's not 248.50. I would do more like 250. CRM above 250 with good volume momentum to the upside, probably a good idea. Play that up, but realistically speaking, you want to really go above 257 or 258 here. What do you think about UPS calls 170 for 1030? 170 for 1030. Yeah, I would hold them. I would hold them probably. But I think there's more downside than there is upside right now. That's what I would say. Stock has run up pretty aggressively. It needs to come down, touch these key zones here. Now these zones are going to become your demand zones on UPS. It needs to come down, test this zone, and then go back up again. So I wouldn't go too bullish. What Facebook leaps are you in? I'm not in. So I have three $340 leaps for next year, and then I have some short-term plays for 1016. I think they're in the money options. UPS earnings is 1024. There we go. What about Uber? $40 calls for January 21st. Probably a good idea to hold them. I've been seeing a lot of Uber flow recently. $40 though. Oof. I mean, you're betting it to break all-time high, so it might be a bit of a bullish bet. I would have taken something like 38 calls, to be honest. A bet against going back to all-time high, you know. So yeah, that's what I would have done. All right then. Is that all the questions we have today? Not possible. I think there are more. I feel like there will be more. In the meantime, if you like the stream today, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. I'm working on upgrading the stream to become much better in exactly about 3 to 4 weeks. So I hope you guys will stick around till that happens. Whoa, Jacques, thank you so much, man, for the $100 donation. You really just made my day. I was having a pretty shitty day, and that really, really made my day. Thank you very, very much for that, man. I appreciate you so much. Dude, you have no idea. That made my whole day. Thank you very much. I just had a very tough day today. My mental energy and my physical energy right now is brain sapped, and this easily turned my whole night around. I've been facing some issues with my landlord, and I had to move out, and you know, I've just been having some blockages, and today it was really something else. So I had to today was the most challenging day I've had in a long time. I had to move out of my apartment within the day. And then I didn't want to let you guys down on the live stream, so I'm actually in a cafe right now doing the live stream because you can hear me clicking on my mouse too. See, I'm not using my mouse. I'm using my trackpad. So I'm in this cafe and I'm doing this live stream because it's the only way I can get it done right now. I have to stay committed. I have a commitment to you guys, and I want to stick through it. And I can't wait till I have a lease that I just got recently, and I'm only going to move in the next, I want to say 2.5 weeks. And then it's going to take me about an additional week to set everything up. So I think in 3 weeks, you're going to see the stream upgrade to a completely different level. And Jacques, that $100 that you just donated is going straight to the upgrades. So thank you very much. That is, seriously, thank you very much. It's that end of the sell-off. I think so, personally. I think so. I'm liking how things are going right now. It's, we needed this pullback. This was a healthy pullback here, and bounce on the 200 is pretty strong. As long as we stay above these moving averages, that's really important. And then also remember, we bounced on the 23.6 on Nasdaq, so it's showing risk appetite's coming back into the market here, and I really like to see that. So I think it's absolutely cool. Twitter calls 1016. Oh, you're quite welcome. I appreciate you as well. Thank you, man. Twitter call 1016. Let's see. Wait, you need to give me the strike, man. Demetria. I don't know what strike you have. Oh my God, T, you are a good soul, and all will be good soon. Thank you, man. Dravidian, that means a lot to me, man. Honestly, you guys are like my family. You know what I mean? It's like coming here and doing this with you guys is, a really, really great feeling, because I know I'm connected to, at least 100 of you who come in on a regular basis, and, you really support me because of the things that I do for you. And, I will continually bring value to the stream because I'm working on a lot of different things that will really take this to the next level. As I told you guys, one of the things that I really want to do, which is going to happen in the near future, is start a live trading stream, right? Maybe about how do you say, 1 hour a day I'll commit to being on the stream live, showing you my screen on TOS while I trade, you know, showing you the setups that I take, showing you how I get the setups, showing you how I trade exactly, you know, making that kind of like a private team that will kind of join me in this. You know, that I'm working towards that, you know. And obviously it's not going to be like those things that I'm going to like be an asshole and like charge $1 billion for that, you know. I don't something, you know, something cheap that people can afford, that, you know, I feel like, you know, there obviously should be like a barrier to entry, so we don't get like a bunch of random traders flooding in, and then like Wall Street Bets people coming in and really just making the stream a terrible place. And then I'm gonna have to put more mods on this as well. But you know, I want to have some barrier to entry for the stream as well, so that, you know, we don't get too many poor people coming in. So I told you guys there's a bunch of good things coming, and I'm working on it. And, you know, I'll work on an overlay. I'm going to be doing, you guys will soon be able to see me face to face, see me. I want to get a webcam, you know, a ring light, everything. So this $100 that Jacques just donated, it's basically going to that, right? The upgrades. I'm going to be getting a computer, like a proper computer, desktop computer. Mine is actually in California. I've been putting it off for the longest time because I thought I was going to go back. And, you know, I wanted to just salvage my computer that I had, because it's a damn bloody good computer that I have there. But it's, you know, it's looking very, like it's going to take a longer time for me to go back. And I don't know when COVID's going to end. I think at this point, I better just have computers in both places, so that wherever I go, I have a computer, right? So I'm going to get a computer, and I'm going to get two or three screens, and, you know, all the good stuff, so that I can, you know, really take the stream to the next level. And so that's what's coming in the future. All 70 of you that are here and your loyal EGA supporters, the people who missed out, didn't hear the spiel, but that's exactly what I'm working on right now, and that's going to come in the next 3 weeks or so, 3 to 4 weeks, I want to say. So thanks for hearing me out, guys. I know sometimes I probably go on tangents, and you know, I really appreciate you guys hearing me out. See here, you're an absolute legend. Thank you, man. Shri, you're amazing, brother. Appreciate your commitment. Thank you, Daniel. What if we don't get a stimulus bill before the end of the week? I don't know. It kind of is like, the stimulus bill at this point is, I don't know. I don't know if it really affects the market, to be honest. I mean, it could, if they put money into the hands of people. Does it mean you can go long on Dow-based stocks? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that I really want to bet on Dow more than anything right now. Not so much on NASDAQ, but more on the Dow. But then don't forget, like, NASDAQ also runs when Dow runs. So it's kind of like, but I really like Dow stocks because of the fact that they're pretty undervalued right now. Really appreciate all the knowledge sharing. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. And then smash the like button. Thank you, Daniel. Yep. If you can, smash the like button. What's your possible entry for Netflix? All right, so let's have a look. So Netflix here, I was talking about this earlier, right? So you can see the OBV making higher highs and stuff here. And, you know, the break above this resistance here and continuing to climb up. I think, honestly, a break above this high over here at this point. So we're looking at like a 497. 497 break with good volume and momentum would send the stock flying to at least 504. So that's a quick 7 delta stack. If you wanted to stack 7 deltas on your option, if you take an in the money option, you know, you'll get a nice little $420 profit there, not taking into account IV and all that stuff, right? Because let's say in the money option at 0.6 delta multiplied by 7, that's 42, so $4.20. So you're looking at $4.20 profit in your contract, which is about $420. That's a quick calculation, right? You got to be fast with these things sometimes. So, and for people who are confused on how I just got that, so remember, right? 497 to 504. How many dollars is that? That's $7. If you take an in the money option and you day trade this, right? And your in the money option has a delta of 0.6. $7 times 0.6 is $4.20, which would be your expected profit from just delta. not from IV and not from any other thing. So you're looking at a $420 gain if your delta of the option has a 0.6 delta. Okay, that's the kind of the ways that you should be thinking about these options and the way that you think about these things. And so I would say above the 497 range would be the range that you should enter. If you want to take a longer term swing, then you're not just playing this. You're going to take a 2 to 3 month out option and then go like 520, right? 520 or 515. That should be the strikes that you should be going for, somewhere up here. Keep staying positive. Besides, if you don't face any resistance from an adversary, then that typically means you're going in the wrong direction. Jason, that is amazing. Thank you so much for saying that. Yep, you are absolutely right. People who make your life difficult are people who are actually building you up. You got to let the haters be the motivators, right? I totally hear that. Any entry on recommendation on Neo? That's a good question. So for Neo, I would say wait for the pullback. Wait for the pullback. This is stretched above your resistance here. Wait for the pullback down to bounce on the resistance. So entries you should be looking at is about $21 or so. That should be the entry point. Don't take it before then. Let it close the gap. I think it will close the gap. You got to be patient enough. Do you vote for Trump or Biden? I don't vote for anybody. I would rather not vote at all. This stream is part of my daily morning routine. Health, yoga, and wealth start with your stream and trading. I cannot stress the importance and value that I am getting from this stream. Thank you, Dravidian. Honestly, thank you so much for saying that. And I'm really looking to get into yoga as well. I currently do meditation every morning to keep my mind straight. It's something that I've put in practice for the past 8 months, and it's been working really well for me. So I keep doing it because I really like setting my intentions right for the day and really being focused that way. I try not to look at my phone in the morning and that kind of stuff. So, of course, exercise and, building all of these beautiful things that I continually will build for you guys in the future. Remember, EGA is kind of like a budding plant. We're really small. Like EGA is a very small channel. And, this stream is not going to be as popular as many other streams because I don't concentrate on, very clickbaity stuff here. You realize this is a very educational focused stream, and that's what I want. I don't want people who are going to come in here and be temporary customers who are just looking for a free fish to get them by the day. I want people to come here to build a relationship with me and stay with me for a long time following my journey, and I can guarantee that if that happened, the long-term destination is going to be nothing but beautiful. So I want to say thank you to all who, attend the stream regularly and are loyal EGA supporters. It really means a lot to me, to be honest. Cool. Well, I feel like I think today's stream has reached an end. I don't really have much else for you guys. Be careful of rug pulls and such today. There will be some flushes. Absolutely be careful of that. Volatility is high. So I overall like bullish positions, but just be careful as usual. Okay. And tomorrow we'll have another live stream on psychological stuff. So I'll be covering a couple more cognitive biases, and we'll be covering on Friday, Recap Friday. Make sure you come back on Friday to choose ticker for next week. CrowdStrike looks like a good one this week. So we'll see how that goes. Remember, CrowdStrike, what I was talking about was breakout above or breakout below, right? So for this one, oops, let me get rid of this. Let's actually do a trade idea here so that we have a game plan, and I'll be taking it if it actually materializes. So a break above 140. I want to say a break above 142. Actually, you know what? A break above 144 or 143. That's when I'll take CrowdStrike to the upside. A break below 127 or 126. Well, actually 128. 128 seems about right. If it breaks below 128, we take short positions. 147, we take long positions. So keep that in mind. Make sure you use the volume and the momentum breakout strategy so that you can get in and out on time. Okay. Well said. When's the option swing con in Miami? I'm not really sure when that's happening, man, but I hope it is soon. Apple 120 calls March 2021. Absolutely, that you can keep that one, Sri. That's a good one. I did mention, I don't know if you were here a couple of weeks back, I mentioned, or maybe it was 2 weeks back or 1 week back, I mentioned about Apple Super Cycle. And you got to keep that in mind, especially since they have the services bundle now. Apple is a super, I think it's going to be bullish for the time to come. Any puts in Disney? Nah, I don't think so. I would be actually bullish on Disney right now, from where it is right now. Had a nice bounce, and it's looking like it's gonna about to. You can see what is this pattern here? It's a reverse head and shoulder forming, right? Reverse head and shoulders. This is your shoulder. This is your head, and this is another shoulder here. We came down, covered the gap. I think if we can break above this neckline here. 127, 128. I say 128. A break above 128 would send Disney back up to this 134 or so level. Actually 132. Yeah. So keep that in mind. 128 break here for Disney. That's what you're looking at. Thanks. Yes, exactly. That's why I took it. Awesome. Yep. Perfect. All right then. This is where I'll leave you guys with the stream for today. Have a great trading day, guys. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Jacques, once again for the $100 donation. Dude, you completely made my day. You changed it around. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate all of you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And peace out, guys.